2018 was an interesting year. From the highs of God of War to the lows of Fallout 76, the immense success of Red Dead Redemption 2, and the unexpected shock of Telltale closing down, whichever emotion you fancied feeling, 2018 could accommodate. But now we're here, the year of our Lord 2019. If we can take anything from last year and bring it into this, it's that microtransactions suck, Jules has a lot of your mum still to get round to, and that you absolutely need to expect the unexpected. From rumoured hardware to forecasting what's going to win Game of the Year 2019, jump in my TARDIS as we head to the future and predict the next 12 months in gaming. I'm Rich from WhatCulture Gaming, and these are 10 bold gaming predictions for 2019. Number 10. The Switch has its first major overhaul. When it comes to new hardware, the Switch hasn't seen much love in this department. We've had a few different cosmetic variations of the Pro Controller and a ton of third-party accessories, but the base hardware of the Switch hasn't really changed too much over its almost 2-year lifespan. Musings were going around that an updated Switch would be coming at some point, and 2019 could be the time we see it. Chances are it'll only be minor bits, like tweaked specs, maybe more internal storage, a better battery, a more energy-efficient screen, but an entirely new form factor could be on the cards. Like with various DSs before it, an XL variant of the Switch could come about, with more ergonomic Joy-Cons and a larger screen. There's even been rumours of a portable-only Switch system that has integrated Joy-Cons and other means of bringing the price down to potentially match the 3DS, but subsequently killing off the DS line in the process. For me, I'd like to see some more Joy-Con colours, or even better, an Xbox Design Lab style thing for Joy-Cons and even the Pro Controller. I mean, I'd love to see that for the DualShock 4 too, but that's not important for now. With Nintendo naming conventions to take inspiration from, the new Nintendo Switch or the new Nintendo Switch XL could be coming soon. So let's just wait for that next Direct. Number 9. Microsoft reveals the Xbox Scarlett early. We're nearing the end of the 8th generation of consoles, which isn't exactly insider knowledge. Both Sony and Microsoft have hinted at their 9th gen offerings, but Microsoft were the first to the punch at E3 2018 when they confirmed Project Scarlett, their next generation console. Something I can guarantee has a much cooler codename than the one they'll actually give it upon release. Project Natal was Kinect. Project Scorpio was Xbox One X. Project Scarlett will be God knows. Speaking of the full announcement, we're not exactly sure when Microsoft will reveal the new system. It seems that most folk point to the 9th generation starting in late 2020, which would potentially mean a reveal either mid to late this year or early next year. Since Xbox beat Sony to the punch with teasing a new system, I'd hazard a guess they'd also be the first to reveal their new system in full. Whether we see this at E3 this year or not, we'll have to just wait and see. But speaking of E3, number 8, E3 2019 is the worst in years. E3 is really starting to lose its position as the go-to gaming event of the year. Not necessarily with the eager fans wanting to know what's next, but more with publishers starting to lose interest. With the rise of self-hosted events like the PlayStation Experience and Nintendo making their announcements as accessible as ever through their directs, it appears that most publishers make a half-assed job at E3 now. Take Square Enix from last year. They may as well have stood on a box in the middle of the show floor and gone, "You've seen all of our trailers and other presentations are on YouTube before E3 even opened. Thank you for your time." Sony pushed a wooden stake further into E3's trying heart with their announcement that they won't be attending E3 this year. This is most likely due to them spending time behind closed doors with the PlayStation 5, which if the PlayStation Experience does happen this year, we could see by then. Since both Nintendo and Square have gone down the all-digital route to their presentations, maybe the same could happen to our remaining contenders, namely Microsoft, Ubisoft, Bethesda, and EA. E3 could become a wholly show floor event, and big announcements might be left for other events such as the aforementioned self-hosted presentations, or other events gaining mainstream attention like the Game Awards. So what would be shown at E3 instead of the biggest new things? Well, maybe everyone will pull a Square Enix and just show more of what we already know about, making staying up until stupid o'clock here in the UK to watch the presentations all that more worthless. Plus, with the generation wrapping up in the coming year or so, much like Sony, many publishers will be keeping things behind closed doors, waiting for the PS5 and Xbox Scarlett to be announced. When that happens, all the next-gen projects will see the light of day. Number 7. Shenmue 3 is a colossal disappointment. Put down your pitchforks, it's probably at the back of your mind too. A sequel that's been in development for getting on to 20 years isn't a good look. Need I mention Duke Nukem Forever? I mean, that wasn't as long, but you get the idea. Shenmue 3 was finally revealed at E3 2015. Not so much as an upcoming game, but more as a, you want this game? Well, give us your money early. No, not like pre-order early, crowdfunding to get the game made in the first place early. Even after raising just shy of $7.2 million once the crowdfunding period ended only last year, this budget budget is still dwarfed by both Shenmue predecessors. Could this mean that series director Yu Suzuki has bitten off a lot more than he can chew? Nobody wants Shenmue 3 to fail. If it's at least passable, it'll be a truly incredible bit of fan service to those who've been pining for a continuation of Ryo's story since the early 2000s. Even with the series' familiar jank, this sequel could still end up being a little too rough around the edges. Best to keep your expectations middling, as if it's good, great. If not, your expectations won't have fallen too far. Number 6. Valve announces their rumored VR headset. Valve. They actually released a game last year, but it dropped down through the Steam Top 100 quicker than when pants drop if Josh Brown is around. Artifact is apparently quite a good game, but the monetization methods are way off mark. Subsequently, the player numbers have substantially dwindled. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. The legendary company that doesn't make games anymore are looking into releasing some more of their own hardware. Whilst the dearly departed Steam Link and the still going, I think, Steam controller are theirs, the HTC Vive is, well, HTC's. However, Valve have supposedly been working on their own VR headset to basically rival their sort of own co-developed Vive. This headset is rumored to boast a 135-degree field of view and have resolutions matching that of the Vive Pro. Not only that, but more VR stuff appears to be in the works at Valve. Not only does their myriad of in-house VR releases on Steam receive occasional updates, data files leaked within updates for the aforementioned Artifact point to something Half-Life related being in development for VR. Now, it doesn't mean that Half-Life 3 is a VR game, trust me, I'd be really pissed if it was, or even that 3 specifically is happening. It more seems that if Valve are releasing their own headset at some point, they'll want a killer IP to go with it. They've already done things with Aperture Science and even Team Fortress, so Gordon Freeman and co are surely next. However, if we see it in 2019 is another story. I need not go on about Valve time, you should all know this by now. But from the leaked images of said headsets, they look reasonably far along in development, so just wait for GDC or something. Valve are definitely doing something behind closed doors. Number 5. Cyberpunk 2077 wins Game of the Year. Aside from The Last of Us Part 2 and Death Stranding, CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most anticipated video games of the generation. Since The Witcher 3 is widely regarded as one of the greatest games ever made, expectations are super duper high when it comes to Cyberpunk. It's not even confirmed to be releasing this year, nor is Last of Us Part 2 or Death Stranding, but many are already placing their bets on Cyberpunk being Game of the Year 2019. Cyberpunk, much like The Witcher 3 before it, looks to be a title you can truly lose yourself in. With branching dialogue trees, incredibly deep interaction with non-player characters around you, various endings based on your choices throughout the game, and a gorgeous, well, cyberpunk world to traverse, CD Projekt's next outing is set to propel the studio and publisher into near infamy within RPG circles. Analysts are pointing towards Q4 of 2019 for release, and apparently the game is finished. They're just bug fixing and polishing the living daylights out of V and their world. Cyberpunk 2077 is coming, and it's set to blow us all away. Number 4. Steam remains king. Late last year, creators of Fortnite Epic Games revealed they were working on their own PC storefront as a direct competitor to Steam. Many a PC gamer, myself included, let out a collective sigh, as that means yet another potential desktop launcher for us to deal with. Unlike all of you with Xbox Ones, PS4s, or Switches, all of your games come from one place, or two if you count digital and physical games as sort of two different things. Whereas on PC, there's a good chance you'll be launching various games from various launchers, which means various friends lists, various login details, and just more clutter in general. As of right now, I use 7 launchers across my PC library, and it's quite a pain. Oh, you can just launch any game through Steam. Well, not anymore. Blizzard's launcher, for example, knows when you don't use it, and it'll tell you off if you launch their games through Steam. Anyway, back to the point. Many are looking at Epic Games' new store as being a genuine threat to Steam. Since their catalog looks to be more curated, even though it is still quite a bit smaller to Steam's hundreds of thousands of titles at the moment, that's still a plus. Adding a better cut of the profits to the publishers and the developers compared to that of Steam, should Lord Gaben be worried? Honestly, no. Steam's near 16 years of service should keep many publishers sticking to it, since over that time 150 million accounts have been created, and you've got a good 20 million online at any one time. Sure, Valve could do with looking at their profit cuts to the actual makers of the games they're selling, but Epic versus Steam looks to be a mouse against a lion. Other launches for particular publishers justify their existence, with Bethesda, EA, and Activision Blizzard doing things themselves now, as annoying as that is, but Discord and Epic Games are looking to dip their toes into an immensely gargantuan pool. Number 3. Blackout goes free to play. 2018 was the year of the Battle Royale genre. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite fought for top spot, which was pretty much won by Fortnite. Sorry PUBG fans, but a few other publishers threw their hat into the ring. One notable example is Cliff Bleszinski's Radical Heights, which didn't do so well. Another big one was a Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 5, but it was delayed and we're still waiting for it. There were many other attempts to cash in too, but one that did actually pretty well in this already dominated market was Blackout in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in itself is actually a pretty good COD title, and I think Blackout blew everyone away. Seasoned PUBG and Fortnite players found themselves re-hooked on a genre that felt like it was burning itself out too quickly. In the same way I buy Treyarch CODs for the Zombies mode, many people were flocking to Black Ops 4 solely for Blackout. This prompted Activision to release a Zombies-less edition for Black Ops 4 on PC. F*** you Activision for sidelining us Zombies fans once again, and since Infinity Ward's new COD is on the way, Blackout might become a standalone title and go free to play later this year. It does make a lot of sense, and it puts it up more against Fortnite's free-to-play formula rather than PUBG's pay-to-play way of doing things. Including cross-platform play across all devices and making it available for the Switch too, something that was rumoured before Black Ops 4 even released, and Fortnite's main focus won't be beating off PUBG anymore. Number 2, microtransactions begin to die out. Now, don't get too excited. Microtransactions are here to stay in some way, shape, or form. But as 2018 droned on, many publishers caught wind of just how much we don't like them. There was a point when we thought those usually quiet whales, those with too much disposable income that will happily pump stupid money into these things, would keep microtransactions systems afloat. But as new games were announced and launched over the year, many were either thinning the ranks in terms of in-game purchases or abandoning them entirely. God of War and Spider-Man are two examples of titles without the unnecessary bloated characteristic of microtransaction content. Single-player experiences lacking the expectation to pump more money into an already full-priced title sounds like a given, with there being practically nobody to show off your palette-swapped pre-order bonus costume too, since it's just you. But that hasn't stopped devs in the past. Deus Ex Mankind Divided attempted to bleed you dry in a single-player ecosystem, and just look at how well that turned out. I'd hazard a guess that single-player titles will be exempt from microtransaction fuckery, which is a breath of fresh air to those who want to spend $60 to get the full experience and have nothing locked away. I mean, I was rather happy that when I didn't pre-order Spider-Man PS4, I could still unlock the suits I thought were exclusive to only those who did. As for multiplayer things, at least on the console and PC side, there's still a good chance that microtransactions will be there, be it as a means of unlocking new tiers of cosmetics through progression or jumping forward X number of tiers so you don't have to grind. As to whether in-game purchases are more okay when it boils down to solely cosmetics is a debate for another time, but at least the pay-to-win mentality in online multiplayer is starting to fade. Some titles, such as Battlefield 5, are attempting to abolish it entirely, with even plain DLC being free, whereas titles such as Black Ops 4 are still doing a season pass and pulling a Fortnite, doing tier skips and extra content for those who buy COD points. As for mobile gaming, in-game purchases will definitely stay. Maybe that's why so many AAA companies are investing into mobile games now. Apparently that's the only way they'll make more money since console and PC players have shunned microtransactions. All in all, hopefully this trait in PC and console gaming is fading. Not completely, we'll never be that lucky, but hopefully in 2019 we'll be paying for the base game and nothing more, unless we really want to. Number 1, Death Stranding is finally released. Cue Josh Brown laughing in the distance, he's convinced this is never going to see the light of day. After PT got people hyped and then Konami shot themselves in the cock by getting rid of Kojima, Big Hideo and Norman Reedus stuck together to make Death Stranding, a video game about being naked, stomach babies, mud hands, and I actually haven't a pissing clue what this game's about. Either way, Kojima fans and PS4 owners are getting a little more tetchy about this title. Since it was revealed at E3 2016, we've had some trailers, a few more actors revealed to have joined the cast, and that's kind of it. Insiders that have seen gameplay don't really know what to make of it, not necessarily in terms of whether it's good or not, they just can't put their finger on what this game is, or even on what genre it fits into. Kojima himself has stated that in the same way that Metal Gear was considered an action game before it was considered a stealth game, since the genre didn't exist then, the same will happen here. It doesn't matter what you label Death Stranding as now or when it releases, it's set to be something completely groundbreaking, completely new, and it could release this year. That's unless Josh Brown has anything to say about it. And that's my list. What gaming related things are you expecting to happen in 2019? Sound off in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to WhatCulture Gaming if you haven't already, and clicking that bell might give you an XP buff or something. WhatCulture.com is full to the brim of microtransaction-less content. I'm Rich, you can follow me on Twitter at PickupChangeToe, and we'll see you tomorrow.